Hello, and welcome back to the Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis and Noah Fisher to discuss Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Yep, it's three defeats out of our last four. We're struggling. The 6-pointer didn't go our way. But, we've got some good games coming up, and we're going to talk about where we're heading and if that top four dream is still alive. So we'll be bringing you that and much more after this. Okay, yes. So it was Sunday night. It was Villa Park. It was the marquee game of the weekend. And look, we were all really fired up for this one, Noah. Like I said, Man United were just behind us in the table. We had Spurs had just gone ahead of us on the Saturday, and we needed a result. It wasn't our day though. Such a frustrating game in many ways. I think the missed chances are the big thing because I don't think we played badly. I think we've played better than this season and won games, but unfortunately we just couldn't finish those chances, especially when it was 1-1. And it cost us in the end.
Nah, big time, Scott. And as you said, there were so many times this season when we played so much worse than this and managed to get the 3 points. And unfortunately, we're always going to be on the back of one of these defeats one way or another this season. And it's frustrating, but as you said, there's so many positives to take. I thought, the boys put in a decent shift and were quite unlucky for this. And as you said, winnable fixtures coming up and some big games after that as well. So top four chase definitely still alive and definitely well and truly on. It's 1 point behind Spurs, and yeah, it's now us in our hands to do it now.
So yeah, that will be the big talking point, Tommy. Like, is the top four dream still alive in your opinion? Do you think, this sort of downturn in form is something that's going to linger on for a while, or can we get back to that sort of 2023 form?
I think Man U just seem to be our bogey team always. We historically have bad luck, and actually even as of recently. So if you kind of take that out of the equation, I thought we were actually good prior to them. Was it Brentford the thumping? And and I thought we played great patches of football. We're depleted. We're playing our second and fucking long ways like our seventh choice centre back, right? And Cash has been out of form defensively. Moreno's just come back from injury. So all in all, we're going with what we have. Touch wood. I hope Kamara is good, but doesn't look too good from what I'm hearing. They're saying his knee's gone inwards and it's potentially 9 to 12-month ACL. I hope not, but again, the positive from that is maybe Timmy gets a start, and I thought he looked pretty bright when he came on recently. So I think top four is well within reach. We have some really, really favourable fixtures ahead of us. I've said that just apart from Man U, and it's somewhat greener pastures on the other side. They seem you want to avoid these teams bottom of the ladder, but they all seem to be out of form, and I just hope we don't rejuvenate them by losing to them. So all in all, it was a great performance. I think top four is well within reach. I mean, we're 1 point behind Spurs. It's not like we're 6 points and, they've got a game in hand. We're literally still in the mix. I did predict fifth, I think, start of the season. So I hope we make top four. But if we just finish one spot out.
And fifth is still potentially a Champions League spot with the new structure of the Champions League. So, there is still hope there. But Noah, we've got these three big games: Fulham on Saturday, Nottingham Forest, and I think Wolves are the other.
Luton.
Luton, sorry, yeah. Yes. And then Spurs, which at home, which could be a season-defining match.
That's a 12-pointer.
Yeah.
If there is such a thing as a 12-pointer, because, I said to you pre-podcast, like, we need to bounce back, and we normally do after games like this. And, it's not saying because every team's in the Premier League for a reason and the best 20 teams in the country, but if there's easier fixtures than what we've had in recent times, it's the ones approaching. And Fulham, they're doing okay at the moment. They're mid-table in the Premier League, and again, they're going to be a challenge. We have a few players out, as Tommy said. Kamara might be missing for a little bit, and we have a bit of depth to cover this. But I think I'm going to go to the January transfer window and the loaning out of Leander Dendoncker.
Right.
I think is something that we could be using right now. I just think his physical presence is something you need in games like this coming up, and potentially if Kamara is out, that is.
I think Timmy's I think Timmy's more ahead of Dendoncker based on that short little stint he played. goes forward with the ball. He's crisp. He's good at tackling. I'd love to see him come in and just dominate.
Yeah, well, look, these games coming up, they're not gimmies. They are sort of favourable, but Fulham, you never know what you're going to get with them. They beat Arsenal and then they lost 5-0 at home to West Ham, I think, like earlier on in the season. So they are a bit of a yo-yo team. They're sort of, they can be great and they can be awful, but we don't have a great record at Craven Cottage.
I was going to say that. I was going to ask.
Yeah, we seem to lose there quite a lot. And I mean, I think we've done okay recently.
We won there when there was no fans in 2020 or 2021.
No, there's still no fans there. There's still no fans there.
I can't think of a previous time we won when there were fans there, to be honest with you. It must.
What was last season? I can't remember how we went.
Gerrard was last season.
That was his last game. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, right.
And then we just never seem to win at Craven Cottage. It's a bogey ground, and if someone's going to break the bogey ground, it's someone that's broken a lot of bogey things for us, and that's Super Unai Emery.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to work hard because he's got a lot of work to do, Tommy. There were a few people questioning some of his sort of tactical substitutions, like bringing Bailey off in this match.
Man, that's where it went wrong. That was the turning point of the game, I think, Scott. And he was looking good. It's not like he was lethargic. I just don't get it. It's just, I don't know if it's superstitions. That was bad by Emery, and it's not the first time. So,
I mean, that tackle
does more good than bad.
That tackle he got from Bruno Fernandes, might have, I don't know, given him a bit of a knock. But, yeah, he was causing havoc. He was, setting up chances, had a few shots himself. But, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't be taking him off. But look, as the game went, we obviously, I don't think we started that well. And we obviously went behind. No. The corner was crazy because it shouldn't have been a corner. Villan was offside for the header, but if that header goes in, then that goal never happens. It's so weird with VAR that because it was just a corner kick, they get the corner score from the corner. It's a goal. It's a different, passage of play and all that. So, but if that header from Villan goes in, then, it's chalked off for offside and then, it's a different game. But we go 1-0 down, and then we switched it on, Noah. Then it was just end to end, sort of lots of running, lots of chances. Ollie Watkins, like, oh my God, he could have had a hat trick in this game. I don't know how he misses those ones. I mean, he's been in great form, so I'm not going to say, the typical Ollie or anything like that. But this did seem like Ollie from maybe like a few years ago in the. I just expected him to score both of those chances when they came because, like you said, he's been in great form and he's been so clinical this season that I don't know why he doesn't lift the first one. The one where Onana comes out and smothers him. What did you think of those chances?
I mean, I'm just looking at Tommy in the bottom screen there on mine, and Ollie, Tommy's one to have criticised Ollie a fair bit, so I'm surprised this question didn't get directly thrown at him, but. As you said, he's our leading goal scorer. He's got 50 Premier League goals, and this season especially, you expect him to bury them. But it was one of those nights, Scott. Like, it just didn't look like we were going to score. We just couldn't score. It was just not in the script.
McGinn had a great shot where Onana saved. There was
Onana hasn't played that well for United ever. He's been terrible for him. Yeah. I know some of the shots were directly at him, but they were going in off him a couple of months ago. Hoyland couldn't hit the side of a barn door with if you're standing 30 centimeters in front of it. So
and Jacob Ramsey was another one who had chances and was criticised online. I was saying for not having the composure we need. Tommy, is there any sort of answers that you can see in that sort of as to why perhaps we weren't finishing those chances, why we weren't, as deadly as we usually were? Was it nerves? Was it the occasion got to us?
I think maybe just a combination of a bit of a bad run of form, nerves. I mean, United, they are our bogey team. I don't know why. We always just seem to fucking lose. And just shit scrappy wins, shit scrappy stuff as well. And then Onana just turns into fucking prime Oliver Kahn all of a sudden, right, when we play him. So combination of things, like you said, Ollie buries those any other game and then just shits his pants in front of the big mob. So, kudos to United. We did manage to score, Dougie, and, he wants to celebrate like it's fucking Dancing with the Stars. The game was far from over, and they equally had their share of spoils. So
I did like the celebration.
Who was the director?
If it's to go 2-1 up or 3-1 up, all right, seal the game. But just to equalise,
even when he slid on his knees though, McGinn went and got him. McGinn went over and dragged him up.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Come on.
I know, like, it's a hype thing, and maybe he's putting himself in the spotlight right in front of these big clubs. He knows he's having a good season. Maybe he wants out end of the season. Who knows, right? We won't know till we're there. But even Diaby squandered a pretty good shot. At least get on target. So his form is just dog shit. He started on fire, and we're like, what a player we've got. And then Bailey's just exiled him to the bench now.
That Diaby chance really annoyed me because he should have squared it to Dougie. We had 3-on-3, I think, and he was just. That's
what I mean. He's gone from the team player he started as now to very selfish and stubborn. And I don't know. Like, I've got a Liverpool mate, typical. He's like, I'll take Diaby off your hands. I'm like, fucking take him. Give us 10% less than what we paid, and he's yours.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be so quick to sort of write him off because. I understand. I understand what you're saying. Like he has dropped off.
Yeah, and no one expected Bailey to be playing this well, right? Which totally warrants his new contract extension. Start of the season, people were questioning it. But now all of a sudden, right, like, Emery's hailed for this wonderful recontracting of Bailey. I thought, again, like I said, unfortunate with Booba, just such a big loss. He had his little 3-game stint, and then we went on a shit patch there. Then we've just been, three losses now, which isn't ideal. I still think it's greener pastures. Could be a lot worse, Scott, right? Like, we could have Arsenal, City, Liverpool, which we probably want to avoid right now, especially Arsenal and Liverpool and City. And then Liverpool always in the mix anyway. So, like I said, it's not as bad as it seems, but, we are really playing with scraps. Our bubble hasn't burst. I think, reality's starting to settle in. There's a very big difference. We've got a depleted squad. We probably will reinforce end of the season. And then I think we'll build on whatever we do this year. Top 4 would be great, but I think top 6, I think we said at the start of the year, if we can match what we done last season, because Chelsea's a better team. All these other teams have reinforced it. Arsenal's hitting career form all of a sudden again, right? So I think we're doing well. I think we've got to give ourselves a pat on the back. Let's go listen to pods from a year and a half ago. We're saying completely different things, right?
And I
think a lot of Villa fans need a dose of reality.
The performance matters, and the performance was good. It was just in both boxes at the crucial moments, we sort of fluffed our lines. I think, we've had moments in other games like Brentford, Spurs come to mind where we have been poor, but in the crucial moments in the match, we were there and we took advantage and got the 3 points. This time, we were on the receiving end, and, the goal, the eventual winner for United, I think is a great example of that, Noel, because we were just a bit like the ball through to Mainu. It was a bit sort of like no one was really picking him up, and then comes back to Dallo, and then when the ball comes into the box, Longley, Carlos, and Cash seem to be all too far to the ball, if you know what I mean. Like everyone's shifted across to the point where Cash is at the back post and he's marking 2 men. He's got Garnacho behind him that he's got to keep half an eye on. And then when he realizes the ball's coming into McTominay, he realized I'm the only one that can challenge for the ball here. Carlos has gone too close to the near post. It's gone over his head. Longley, I don't know where he was because he's not marking anyone at that point. He's just trying to cut out like a low ball, but you need to be marking a player in that situation. The front post isn't going to score. It's going to be McTominay. So and I think that, we've got Mings out, we've got Torres out, we're Konsa as well, of course. We're depleted, and I think if we had at least maybe one of those guys in there and just showing a bit of leadership as well, because that's where you just need someone to go, hey, Longley, come back, back in the middle.
What do you mean come back? He'd be on the bench. Right there. I know Pau Torres is a great part. That situation there has Konsa and Mings written all over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Positioning will give Mings shit in that, but he's getting his head to that ball in the dying minutes 9 times out of 10, if not all 10. I mean, we're talking fucking McTominay. Yeah, they call him a clutch player, whatever, right?
He's their leading goal scorer this season.
That's what I mean. Well, which speaks volumes about that piss stain of a club. But anyway, I said, he's going in for the ball. He's a fucking midfielder. Defenders are meant to be strong. Carlos, this big unit, caught out of position. I think
it's a free header. It's a free header from 5 yards out. It's not acceptable.
Konsa and Mings have the most experience on their resume, given they played for the dog shit Villa side. They played for the dog shit Villa side, where we were, other teams were thumping us every game. They had to be elite to make sure, we only lost 2-0, not 7-0. So that had them written all over it. Mings head to that any day of the week. Konsa probably would have done some weird slide tackle, saved it. Crazy.
That's it. And Mings knows that sort of, British style of football. He's been in the championship, throw your body on the line, get in there, put a bit of a physical challenge on the forward. Even if you can't get there, maybe you put him off, but, that was just way too easy and really disappointing to concede like that. You could just see Martinez, Cash, everyone, that was like a huge body blow. And, United have done it to us twice this season. Absolutely just taking the wind out of us, and fair play to them. You've got to be disappointed, because even a point wouldn't have been an awful result. We played well, we got a point. Yes, we missed some chances, and that would have been a talking point, Noel. But we would have kept our gap with United at the same, and that would have been at least something. But this weekend, with all the other results, couldn't have been worse.
No, 100%. And you took the words out of my mouth before, and I think if we had Ezri Konsa and Pau Torres, we don't concede that McTominay goal. But unfortunately, we do. We definitely would have taken a point. A point would have been great. Is our goal difference better than Spurs? I'm not too sure.
I think it's slightly better. Yeah.
So we've been fourth. We've been fourth right now. So we've been fourth right now on goal difference. It's a massive thing.
We can say what about this game. There's been some other shit games that we've also conceded defeat, and
Burnley, Sheffield United.
I'm going back to Forest, man. They dominated and won the game, right? So we may come leaps and bounds in terms of performance. Good teams know how to win. It might not be 100%. Pretty, but you win. And we had that kind of aura around us, and I feel like that's what we've lost, right? Just that grit, those dirty wins.
We've lost 3 in a row at home.
And I think that all comes back to the back four. And the experience and the leadership in the back four. We have none. Exactly. So,
but
that's
I still believe in this team, Scott. I believe in the manager. I believe in the players. I believe in the team that they will get us where we got to be. And I think we'll get top 4, Scott. I'm going to throw me on the line. I think we'll get top 4. I really do. I want to
believe too. I want to believe, but it's turning into a.
Scott, it's been a bad 12 days, pretty much, for Aston Villa.
Yeah, when you think about 12 days, but it's been a good 12 days for all the teams around us.
I don't know. I think you can go back. I think you can go all the way back to the Man City game, and since then, it hasn't been great.
But we've been winning.
Well, we lost
in that January period, December period. There were that many games being played. Everyone was cooked, and we were fitter than the other teams. And I think once we get our players back, we're really missing Pau Torres. We're really missing Ezri Konsa massively, absolutely massively. As much as I love Matty Cash, I just don't think he's up to it anymore.
I would like to make a prediction for end of the season. It's completely un-Villa related.
Go for it.
Roberto De Zerbi to Manchester United. I'm calling it in advance, well in advance.
I thought he was linked to Liverpool, but yeah, maybe.
Nah, they'll get what's his name? Alonso. Doesn't he have a release clause? Yeah, he's got a release clause. And why wouldn't you go for him? He's got the better record right now. But then Prem experience counts. But De Zerbi will lead Brighton into the season.
Well, look, I'm just really hoping Unai can get a response. I mean, in terms of performance yesterday, I'm happy, but it was good to see Ramsey actually play quite well, apart from the finishing. Because we're going to need him. We're going to need everyone. We're going to need the Zaniolos, the Diabis, the guys.
Yeah, where's fucking Zaniolo be, man? Start him. Start him at one point.
Well, I think he might get a start against Fulham because there's there is some issues, and if Kamara is injured, that'll mean McGinn will probably drop
Play
back
deeper.
and
Yeah.
play
Why?
deeper.
Why not play Timmy there? Timmy's good.
Yeah, I just don't think at this point of the season you can
Because
trust.
Jory Tielemans played so well at that advanced role anyway against Sheffield United.
Yeah, and then he was awful against Chelsea.
Inconsistent. Well, you say inconsistent, like you play one good game, one bad, then you're on the bench. I mean, like I'm all for chopping and changing the team, but like go 5-6 games with the same team. Let them get a run of form. That's probably everyone's chopping and changing for more competition for places, but at least 90% should be the same. The only one that ever changes, I reckon, just Diaby and Bailey.
But but a fit and firing Ramsey, I think, just gives us that bit of extra pace through the midfield. Someone that can
over Diaby. Diaby. Is he a better?
He plays a little bit deeper, a little bit more central at times. He kind of drifts in off that left.
He's got more grit in him as well.
Yeah,
and you need that.
And he's more of a sort of a passer, a mover. He's more of a midfielder sort of brain than Diaby, who is direct. And we could see off that last chance where he should have squared it. Like, I think Ramsey squares that ball because he's got more of a sort of
he's a pass first mentality.
Yeah.
Well, he's also a Villa fan at heart, right? And wants what's best for the team.
I think that does count at the end of the day.
I think that counts any day of the week. Someone like a Mings is more about the badge. That's why he's throwing his fucking head up at that ball coming in, and we don't concede the loser.
And next year we'll just slot Jack Grealish in there in that left wing.
Oh mate, I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm not gonna lie, because let him ride. It can be a Gareth Barry, fucking Diaby, straight swap. Take him, bring him back.
Well, I mean, they've just bought that guy from Girona, Salvio.
Yeah, well, no. He was loaned from Man City or was sold from Man City, like Dougie Luiz. He's a Man City product.
They bought him and loaned him back.
They bought him by that.
Yeah, something
Dougie
like
Luiz.
that. Like a Dougie.
Yeah.
Also, I was speaking to a random dude at the poker table recently, and he actually goes, Haaland will leave next season. He goes, 100% Man City will go for your Watkins guy. So he knows a bit about soccer. He's a Liverpool junkie. He reckons Watkins to Man City goes, it suits their style of play.
I don't know. I
don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
I don't either.
I think he'll go to 300 million. I think he'll go if he went anywhere. Go to Arsenal because he's
300 million can make a lot. 300 million can make a lot happen, Scott.
Watkins is going to retire a Villa player. That's it. Yeah.
Let's hope so. That'd be good.
So do I.
If we can finish Champions League, I reckon we keep hold of everyone, and then we get Jack back maybe, or somebody like some big signings.
I know you dream about having Jack back, but I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
You don't think it's ever going to happen?
No, ever going to happen? Versus, does he improve the team? Is he better than anyone on that team? Right? Absolutely.
I don't think it happens. I just don't think it happens. Okay. I know Scott hasn't quite moved past him.
I just think
every transfer window. Grealish.
I think it makes sense.
No, but it's on all the pages, Noah. That's the only reason why I'm backing Scottie.
I know. But I mean, think,
all the talk is like, he always, is watching Villa games, checking the results.
He's still a Villa fan.
Yeah, and I think that if he wins the league again this season, and I mean he's not really playing that much, so maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
they fucked off.
Never say never.
They're willing to do that. Yeah, but they got rid of Phillips, who barely played for him.
On loan.
He's probably falling into that. Yeah, but they'll get rid of him into the season. It's either on loan to get him some match fitness so he sells with a hefty price tag, and Grealish is probably on the way out too. I reckon it's off-field antics. It's clear as daylight. Emery does not have the tolerance like Dean Smith, so that's one thing Grealish will need to become accustomed to.
Yeah, he'd have to change his game. But all right. Yeah, let's wrap it up there anyway. It's been a bad 12 days as Noah spoke about earlier. We're going to have to respond against Fulham, and let's do the predictions for Fulham away on Saturday night. Noah Fisher, give us your prediction.
3-1 Aston Villa.
Tommy?
5-0. I think we're going to come out the gates firing. Take Man U out of the equation. We were looking good before that.
I'm going to say 2-1 Fulham. That's it.
Cancel the pod.
I'm making a prediction that we're going to lose this one because
how are you the host?
You see, because I'm playing devil's advocate because I've been predicting we're going to win and we've been losing. So this is why I'm doing the double bluff. All right.
Scott, we've all been predicting we're going to win.
I know we have been. I know, but I'm predicting 2-1 to Fulham.
You, Bonnie, have a go at him, will you?
Have a go in the comments.
Okay.
Have a go.
We got a special guest next week.
Fan.
So that'll be exciting. We got a new first-time guest. So he'll be at the game against Fulham. So he can give us a live sort of account of how that went, and hopefully they do win. I'm not.
And for everyone asking, no, it's not Callan Chambers who gets to watch for free.
No, but first-time guest losing their Coupe de Virginity.
Love that. All right. Well, thanks for all your support, all your likes and comments. Please let us know what you thought of this match. Are we going to make top 4? Let us know. Yes. Like, is this going to be?
Should we replace Scott as the host for going against
that prediction?
His beloved Villa.
Look,
absolutely. Feel free to abuse him, rinse him.
Absolutely.
We'll
Muhammad Adam, get in those comments, mate.
Please pile on, and all of you.
Muhammad, please swear in Norwegian, and then we can do seed translation in YouTube.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Please do that. And like, if you want to have a go at me in any language you want, please do. Just make it a comment. That really helps the algorithm. We're also over on Spotify if you want to listen to us. So go over there and give us
all the socials: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So we're on everything. So go over there, check us out, and we will be back after Fulham away at the Cottage, up the Villa. See you next week.
Up the Villa.